So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the huge reminder for this up and coming podcast that we're about ready to do less than 2 hours. There's things that I'm going to talk about here that needs to be addressed for this podcast talk show. You guys are allowed to ask questions for the guest. Now, if I see any toxicity in that chat, you will be removed immediately. So don't miss it at 6:15 p.m. as we get ready for this podcast or talk show with legendary call legend with Kevin Impact. Up and coming podcasters, we got more special guests coming down the road. It's going to be interesting to see. Also, more podcasts or talk shows to come. We're going to be sitting down with a couple of people that I'm bringing here. It's going to, like I said, 6:15 p.m. If you guys got nothing to do, I know it's, 2 to 3 days of Christmas. It's going to be an interesting talk show, 6:15 p.m. Bring your questions for Mr. Impact because we're getting ready for that. Announcements I want to make here before we, in this little short live is this. When we do the talk show, there will be what we call a Q&A, as you can see on the top right left-hand corner here. That means that when you see this little icon, that means ask questions. Even though if it's not up there, you're still allowed to ask questions. So that does not mean you have to wait till this icon pops up. You're still allowed to ask questions. So 6:15 p.m., less than 2 hours and 15 minutes. We're going to be sitting down with the one and only Kevin Impact. Bring your popcorn chips. Bring everything at the table. Because when you get CJ Mondo and Kevin Impact on a podcast, on a talk show, things are going to not be PG. So if you bring kids and you are listening to this podcast talk show coming up at 6:15 p.m., I suggest you take the kids away and put headphones in because this is going to be one of the podcasts that is not PG. So go check out the show for Snow Showdown for JTV, December 24th, 7 p.m., I think, is the time. Live on their YouTube channel. We will actually be posting links. It's, I'm going to talk to Kevin Impact before we go live to post the link when I do his introduction. So that way that you guys can see some JTV content. And, he does very good. One of the damn best to ever do it. So this is going to be a legendary talk show. So like I said, bring your questions, answers. Also, like and subscribe for more talk shows such as this one coming up and many more. You don't know who I'm going to bring to the table. I could bring a lot of people. It's a new journey that I decided to do on my channel. And this is going to be one of those things that is going to literally every one of my talk shows are not PG. So if, like I said, if you got kids, you need to send them out the door. And also, before we head out of here for this short little reminder, you don't want to miss it because I can guarantee you you want to stay tuned, subscribe, and be ready for this podcast, 6:15 p.m. tonight. CJ Mondo going to be sitting down with the legendary JTV star Kevin Impact. I mean, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. This is going to be one of those talk shows that you want to get your popcorn, drinks, and sit down and bring the questions to the tables. So, interesting stuff coming to the channel. So, you may want to bring on the questions as we get ready to end this. But thank you guys for listening for this huge reminder for the upcoming podcast. Bring those questions, guys. Another thing, as we all said, don't miss it. Be there.